Mr. President, I should now like to introduce Thomas A. Pugel, Professor of Economics and Global Business, Vice Dean for MBA Programs, Leonard N. Stern School of Business, who will present the candidate for Doctor of Commercial Science. Will Chair of the Board, Martin Lipton, please escort this candidate to the lectern?
Janet Louise Yellen. Chair of the Board of Governors of the Federal Reserve System and first woman to control America's central bank in its 100-year history. You employ the powerful tools of your office with sound judgment, deep expertise, and a strong sense of social responsibility. A Brooklyn native, an alumnus of Brown and Yale universities, you were drawn to economics by the rigor of its methods and its potential to benefit humankind. You served on the faculties of Harvard University and UC Berkeley, where you are now Professor Emeritus, and ably served the President's Council of Economic Advisors. Let me pause here for a personal note that I think is very appropriate to our event. Janet, I offer you my deepest appreciation. You were my teacher for macroeconomics when I was a graduate student. Thank you. That learning has meant a lifetime to me. In 2004, you took the helm of the District Federal Reserve Bank of San Francisco before rising to become vice chair and then ultimately chair at the Federal Reserve this year. You warned of problems in the housing market as early as 2005, even as you persevered in pushing and persuading your peers to take more aggressive measures to deal with the looming economic catastrophe in 2008. Smart, objective, willing to listen and able to disarm, mindful of the impact of government decisions on individuals and families struggling through these difficult economic times. You aim to build consensus and drive policies that will benefit all Americans.
Janet Louise Yellen. The world's most influential central banker, universally esteemed member of the Academy, and pioneering role model for women, you have proved a prescient, forceful, and courageous public servant, wisely entrusted to implement sound monetary policy for the nation and the peoples of the world. Madam Chair, by virtue of the authority vested in me by New York University, I am pleased to confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Commercial Science, honoris causa. Ladies and gentlemen, I am pleased to introduce Dr., now NYU Doctor, Janet Louise Yellen, who will respond on behalf of the honorary degree recipients.
Thank you, President Sexton. On behalf of the honorees, let me express my thanks to NYU. And congratulations from all of us to you, the class of 2014, and to your families, especially your parents. This is a special day to celebrate your achievements and to look forward to your lives ahead. Your NYU education has not only provided you with a foundation of knowledge, it has also, I hope, instilled in you a love of knowledge and an enduring curiosity. Life will continue to be a journey of discovery if you tend the fires of curiosity that burn brightly in all of us. Such curiosity led Eric Kandel here at NYU to his lifetime goal to discover the chemical and cellular basis of human memory. A few years after his graduation, he was doing research on cats, but he had the idea of focusing on an animal with a simpler, more fundamental brain, the California sea slug. His colleagues all but ridiculed him for that idea. They knew that the study of the lowly sea slug was irrelevant for understanding human memory. Kandel's surgically skilled collaborator deserted him. To get up to speed on sea slugs, he had to go abroad to study. But Kandel persisted, and in 2000, his curiosity won him the Nobel Prize. It was, as you must have guessed, for deciphering the chemistry of memory in humans as revealed by his research on sea slugs. Kandel's life, I believe, demonstrates how a persistent curiosity can help us reach ambitious goals, even with great roadblocks in the way. A second tool for lifelong intellectual growth is a willingness to listen carefully to others. These days, technology allows us access to a great breadth of perspectives, but it also allows us to limit what voices we hear to the narrow range we find most agreeable. Listening to others, especially those with whom we disagree, tests our own ideas and beliefs. It forces us to recognize with humility that we don't have a monopoly on the truth. Yankee Stadium is a natural venue for another lesson. You won't succeed all the time. Even Ruth, Gehrig, and DiMaggio failed most of the time when they stepped to the plate. Finding the right path in life, more often than not, involves some missteps. My Federal Reserve colleagues and I experienced this as we struggled to address a financial and economic crisis that threatened the global economy. We brainstormed and designed a host of programs to unclog the plumbing of the financial system and to keep credit flowing. Not everything worked, But we kept at it, and we remained focused on the task at hand. I learned the lesson during this period that one's response to the inevitable setbacks matters as much as the balance of victories and defeats. There is an unfortunate myth that success is mainly determined by something called ability. But research indicates that our best measures of these qualities are unreliable predictors of performance in academics or employment. Psychologist Angela Lee Duckworth says that what really matters is a quality she calls grit, an abiding commitment to work hard toward long-range goals and to persevere through the setbacks that come along the way. One aspect of grit I think is particularly important is the willingness to take a stand when circumstances demand it. Such circumstances may not be all that frequent, but in every life, there will be crucial moments when having the courage to stand up for what you believe will be immensely important. My predecessor at the Fed, Chairman Ben Bernanke, demonstrated such courage, especially in his response to the threat of the financial crisis. To stabilize the financial system and restore economic growth, he took courageous actions that were unprecedented in ambition and scope. He faced relentless criticism, personal threats, and the certainty that history would judge him harshly if he were wrong. But he stood up for what he believed was right and necessary. Ben Bernanke's intelligence and knowledge served him well as chairman, but his grit and willingness to take a stand were just as important. I hope you never are confronted by challenges this great, but you too will face moments in your life when standing up for what you believe can make all the difference. Having dwelt for a moment on failure and grit, let me turn to the deeper meaning that underpins grit and can carry us beyond failure. The hard work of building a life that makes a difference is much easier to sustain when you are passionate about what you pursue. When I first came to the Federal Reserve 37 years ago, I was struck by the passion of my colleagues for the mission of the Fed. And these many years later, each day at work, I see the importance of that passion to carrying out the Fed's duties effectively. If there is a job that you feel passionate about, do what you can to pursue that job. And if there is a purpose about which you are passionate, dedicate yourself to that purpose. Finally, I hope that you can find joy in the lives you choose. You are completing one important phase of your life today and embarking on an amazing new adventure. Serious decisions about life surely lie ahead, but take time to savor the joys, large and small, that come along the way. Share these joys with others and share a laugh when you can. In closing, thank you again on behalf of myself and the other honorees. Thank you for the opportunity to speak to you today, and congratulations and good luck to the class of 2014.